and welcome to Inside Eugene. I'm your host, Marin Stewart. Each episode, we take you behind the scenes of library, recreation, and cultural services to meet the people and programs that make the Eugene, Oregon community shine. Today, we're talking about the Youth Empowerment Program, a dynamic initiative from Eugene Rec that focuses on supporting teens through safe, inclusive, and engaging experiences and spaces. Whether it's field trips, social hours, workshops, volunteer opportunities, or hands-on leadership development, YEP is all about helping young people feel seen, supported, and empowered. Joining me today is Alison Willis, a Rec staff member who helps lead this important work. We'll explore who the program is for, why it matters, and what's coming up for teens in our community. Welcome, Alison.
Thank you.
So tell me in brief, what is the Youth Empowerment Program?
So it is a program that is all free programming for youth ages 12 to 18. And it is meant to positively affect their safety outcomes. And we do that in a variety of ways. We have programs that cover job preparedness, leadership skills, and we make it really fun. We provide safe spaces for youth to make social connections and be safely supervised and engaged positively. And every time they're engaged positively, they are going to be making better choices than some of the other options that are available out on the street. So that's what we aim to do.
That's awesome. So how did the program start? And you mentioned a little bit about these safety initiatives. Tell me about kind of why it was designed to meet those needs.
The age group of 12 to 18 is when choices can really make an impact on youth's lives, and they can get into trouble that lasts and follows them for a long time and can have legal ramifications, which can make it difficult for them to get jobs in the future and just really have a snowball effect. And so it's a crucial age that's been really underserved in our area. I come to this position with 20 years in social work, and there's just so much available to birth to like 11 years old. There's a lot of services, but the teenagers kind of fall off. And so that's where the need came from for the program. It's been around for several years. I've just been with the program for almost 2 years now. And it's funded by the community safety payroll tax. So we come out of the same kind of pot that the police and fire and homeless services come out of. And we're just out there making things safe and fun.
Sounds like a great program, just not only just for the safety element, but just for having fun as a teenager, having something to do after school or in summer.
Yes, getting kids out of the house and off of their phones, it's more and more challenging than ever.
Oh, yeah.
And we're having some pretty good success with that. Make sure that we're offering activities that are exciting enough that they're not thinking about that.
Tell me how YEP is different from other teen programming in the community.
Everything is free, and that's a big deal. There's not a whole lot of free programming happening in town. The other thing is the breadth of things that it covers. So we are doing things to get them ready for jobs. So we have like our recreation apprentice program, and those youth are going to go be put in placements all over the city where they're doing volunteer work with younger youth in camps and learning leadership skills, and they'll get their CPR certification and food handlers cards. They'll do mock interviews. They'll learn how to do a resume and all kinds of things like that. And then we added an outdoor cohort for the summer. So we're getting youth to be able to go on all kinds of cool out-of-town trips they might not have been able to do. They're going to be learning all kinds of survival skills and do rock climbing and rafting and all kinds of things like that. And then I haven't mentioned, very importantly, we have our inclusion program, which serves youth from preschool age to up into the teenage years, to provide support for them if they have any kind of additional support needs, whether it's for environmental or for behavioral or physical support that they need, that we have somebody who can come in and support them so they can participate with all the other kids.
Very cool. Sounds like a lot of these sort of camps, if you will, are skills building, even not just social time,
Yes.
Valuable CPR, survival, all of that good stuff.
Every single thing we have has an element of teaching them some sort of a life skill, self-reliance, confidence, leadership, really important things that they need to take into life to be able to become successful adults and impactful members of our community, but it's all wrapped in a fun package so they don't know that they're learning all that good stuff.
It's secret.
It
We're
is.
secretly helping you, but you're having a good time.
That's right.
I love that. Why is it so important to offer these safe spaces and activities for teens?
We connect youth with choices, right? And possibilities, and help them to learn about being responsible and being good leaders, being good members of the community, being good stewards in the town. And, you know, when they have connections and they care and they feel cared about and they feel seen, they're less likely to go out and do things that are harmful in the community or to themselves. And there's a mental health crisis with youth right now. And there's an opioid epidemic. And especially in Oregon, we're having some pretty dismal outcomes in that way. And so this is somewhere where we can be helping support and responding to a need there. We're also starting for fall a curriculum called Sources of Strength, which is a suicide prevention program for youth to be able to join and learn how to see and respond to suicidal ideation within themselves, but also knowing how to respond to their friends if they disclose and how to get them support so that they're prepared because those things come up. So, we're really trying to specifically meet mental health needs along with physical safety.
Incredibly important, and even more so, I feel like in the generations that have been coming up, that's become more and more prevalent. And how do the spaces that YEP provides, you know, I'm thinking Washington Park, things like that, how do those spaces, I guess, help support youth or help make teens feel welcome?
So the main places, if we're not out in the community that we're operating, are at Washington Park or at Peterson Barn. And especially with Peterson Barn, that place is really kind of in the heart of the Bethel community and is, for most of them, feels pretty comfortable and like a safe space. We have Vibe there, and we see up to 75 youth per week coming in to drop in and have dinner and do art and play games and, you know, have a safe space with their friends. And then at Washington Park with, for instance, our cooking classes that have been super popular, we've really built a following there, and they do become, you know, comfortable and feel like it's a home base and have been coming now for 2 years, a lot of them. And also for our Resolve program that's been happening there for the past year and a half. Once they start coming and when they're not feeling super sure about it, we get a lot of calls from parents where they say, my child doesn't have any friends and doesn't know how to make friends, and they can get them to come. Usually if they come one time, that's no longer a problem. So consistent, healthy, kind adults who believe in them and support them and help facilitate making connections for youth who are having a difficult time making friends. It works wonders.
Yeah. And then you mentioned Resolve and a couple of your other programs, but tell me about the other kind of events and programs and the various different things Youth Empowerment Program does.
So I mentioned our cooking club, and that has been so popular that we've had to expand it into basic, intermediate, and advanced. More popular than we ever could have imagined. And
that's awesome.
Yeah,
Who knew?
Right? And it's such an important skill, life skill for them to take out into the world.
I would have killed for a cooking class in my teenage years. I had to learn all of that as a young adult.
I know. Well, you know, when way back in the olden days when I was a kid, they taught you how to do all of that stuff in school. It was required and it was so important. And so we're responding to that need of knowing that it's mostly not happening in school anymore. And so we're trying to recreate that and make it free. And then Resolve is a super cool program that we have that is youth volunteer program. So they do community service. They meet every Thursday night and they have dinner and they plan projects that they want to do in the community. And they've done all different kinds of cool things, like they're doing a lot of things with parks. They're planting trees, which I think is super cool because, you know, 15, 20 years from now, they can go with their kids and be like, I planted that tree.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's cute.
And they've done painting projects for the community. They did a donation drive for Green Hill, and their favorite thing was the socializing the baby goats for a local rescue.
Yes. Oh, that was so fun.
It's really amazing the power of the program. You might think that a bunch of mostly 14-year-olds would not be excited to come every week to do volunteer projects or like cleaning things up. But they have all been asking, well, why can't we have it go through the summer? Because we usually have it on the school year calendar. So that's something we might have to think about.
That's awesome. Very cool. That's cool that teens are wanting to be super active in the community.
Yeah, and the group has become a real cohort. So where most of them didn't know each other at all and had never tried anything like this, like they're now a tight group.
They're all cool. That's awesome. So they have their own friend group through the program.
Exactly.
Outside of school, that's great.
Yeah.
Are there any upcoming events or programs with YEP that you are specifically excited about or that are new or exciting in general?
So I'm excited about everything. But some of the things that are super exciting, I'm excited about the outdoor cohort because we haven't been able to offer that before. So youth are going to go do all kinds of super cool outdoor things over the summer. I think I mentioned earlier, they're going to go rafting and rock climbing and hiking and mountain biking and things. And then that's going to culminate with an overnight trip where they get to go camp and be out of town, which a lot of them might not have been able to do before. So that's going to be exciting. We have a great partnership with the Holt Center where they have opportunities for youth to go and see Broadway shows and different things that they offer there. We were so fortunate to be able to take a group of 12 youth to see Hamilton, and so many of them had never seen anything like that before. And they got to have lunch with Simon Longnight, who was a student who graduated from South Eugene High School and made his way to Broadway. And that was so impactful. He was so generous with his time and was so inspiring to the youth to be able to hear, like, you can come from here and you can achieve your dreams. One of the youth who attended said that he had never been to a Broadway show or any kind of show before, and that it was impactful to him. He said to see Black people like him up on the stage, just he didn't consider that a possibility, and that he was a youth who came from foster care, and that it was super inspiring for him to see that somebody like him could do something like that.
That's so cool.
Make me emotional.
I know, right? That's tugs on the heartstrings. That's so cute.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that.
It was like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
We're trying to kind of cover the bases and offer just a taste of a lot of different opportunities, whether it's outdoor stuff or it's job things or it's cultural arts stuff. We also offer art classes and things like that. So that they can kind of dip a toe in and see, like, oh, maybe this is who I am. Maybe this is what I like, and it can help them have a direction in life or in school or, things, find a new passion.
Trying a bunch of different things.
Yeah. And it's free, so there's no risk.
Right, exactly. I love that. What has the response been from teens who participate in the program?
We've had really good responses. We do a lot of surveying and getting feedback, not just to know how to build our programs and make them be, appealing to teens, but also because we want to show to the community that we take being entrusted with taxpayer dollars seriously and that we're using them effectively. So we've gotten all kinds of good feedback on Vibe, especially, that the youth feel like that's a safe space and they really look forward to it, and that they've made great connections with friends, but also with adults. We have a little bit of something for everybody, and but we've managed to engage some of the most resistant people who did not want to come at all. A lot of times the parents will look in the rec guide and be like, oh my gosh, this program is so great. I want my kid to go, and they'll sign them up, and then their kids are like, no way, that sounds like school or something. But when they come, then they don't want to leave. So I would say, just please try it.
Give it a shot.
Yeah. See what you think. And if you don't like it, give us feedback, because we're always taking that in and trying to retool and make things better.
Cool. Yeah. That's great. What kind of long-term impact would be ideal? Like individual teens or in general on the whole community, what would be the ideal impact from the youth empowerment program?
Well, I think for individuals, they say that all it takes is one positive adult in a youth's life that makes them feel like seen and believed in, to dramatically change their trajectory in life, right? And so we're always cognizant of that and hopeful that that's happening in our program. And on a larger scale, especially with our Resolve program, I hope that the youth who live here really begin to care about our community and thinking about what they can do to improve it and become the next generation of people who care and are kind and are doing good works in the community. And it's a start of a lifestyle of giving back.
Do you have a dream program that you would make happen if you had all the money in the world?
Maybe we would offer all of the things that they offered when I was in school that they're not offering now. Like I got shop class, I got home economics. They taught us how to cook and shop and budget and sew, do basic sewing and driver's ed. Like I learned how to drive in school. My mom didn't have to teach me. And, I would love to be able to fill that gap of knowledge and self-reliance that youth are not getting in school as much anymore. And art, like all of the things that are important to make you a well-rounded, independent adult that are kind of falling off. It's a hard time to be a parent. There's so much put on parents on as far as like being expected to have constantly supervise their children and have them be positively engaged and off their phones and exercising and learning all of the adulting skills. Like it's a lot. And I would love it if we could do that. Mm-hmm. We could help.
Yeah, totally. Awesome. Yeah, and I feel like kids these days are a lot more, whether they go away to college or go away to do something else for a few years, they usually come back home lately because more and more, I feel like we're missing those things in school that just teach you kind of how to be an adult on your own, and it's gotten a lot harder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really has.
Okay, lastly, where can either a parent or a teen go to find out more information about the programs, what's going on, what it's all about?
They could just Google the Youth Empowerment Program, and our website will come right up with the City of Eugene, and it has a whole overview of each of our programs and a link for them to be able to register.
I hear you have a new social media presence as well.
Yes, this is true.
Perfect. Anything else you want to say about the program? Anything we didn't cover?
Our whole team is really great, and we all feel so lucky that we get to come and do this work every day and are so excited to be entrusted with youth and helping them find their way.
That's awesome. Sweet. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Allison. Appreciate you so much.
Thank you.